Together, let's build a bond of love that transcends barriers, enveloping each soul in a hug of compassion and unity.
In this world, good people are suffering more or bad people are suffering more? Good people are always suffering more. Yes? People who think they are good, they are simply a suffering. Isn't it so? Please look at this. Now, first of all, how did you become good? He's not okay, she's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, she's not okay. Compared to all these people, I am a good man. From where did you get the idea that you're good? Tell me. You have compared yourself with lots of people and you labeled everybody as bad. And now you feel good. Somebody who thinks he is very good, in his mind, nobody in the world is okay. The more good you think you are, nobody is okay for you. Is that so? Isn't it so? People who believe they are very good people, nobody wants to go anywhere near them because they're so good, no life can happen. Your goodness is only in comparison with something else, isn't it? Yes? And you establishing yourself as good and making all these people are totally wretched people, then I am a really good man, isn't it? Isn't it so? Good people won't get anywhere, either in this world or in the other world. Can you take a joke? Do you have good digestion? Huh? I'm not talking about that digestion. One day, in his previous life, Shankaran Pillai was a good man. After a brief illness, he died. Being a good man, he naturally went to heaven. He landed up at heaven, there at the reception committee of angels, opened his account book. Page after page, good deed, good deed, good deed, good deed, good deed. Cover to cover, only good deed. Then the angels were in confusion. Then they came to Shankaran Pillai and said, Mr. Pillai, there's a little problem here. He asked, what is the problem? He said, the angels said, see here we have various kinds of accommodation in heaven, various levels of accommodation. One bad deed means highest heaven, sea front view. 2 bad deeds, next level of accommodation, 3 bad deeds, next level of accommodation, like this. But no bad deed, we don't have such a place. We really don't know what to do with you. You are the first man to come like this. Shankaran Pillai thought, what nonsense. In the world, nobody wanted to come near me because I was such a good man. I lived with the hope of getting to heaven, and even here problem. Then the angels had a discussion and they arrived at a conclusion. They said, don't you worry, Mr. Pillai, we have found a solution. Your body is still intact there. We'll give you 3 hours of life. Just commit one bad deed. We'll put you in the highest heaven. Nothing is lost. Lo, Shankaran Pillai became alive here. Then he sat there thinking how to commit a bad deed. An hour and a half passed away. See, he's not like you, he has no practice. After an hour and a half, he remembered, in the neighborhood, there is a woman who is well beyond her prime, who's been casting inviting glances at him. He being a good man, he never looked that way. Now he thought, okay, adultery is a bad deed. Because after all, he's going to do whatever he is going to do just to go to heaven. So he went looking for the woman. He went and knocked on her door. She came and opened the door. When she opened the door, Shankaran Pillai said, "I want you." "Why, Mr. Pillai, just yesterday evening they told me, you're on your deathbed, what is this?" He said, "It doesn't matter, I want you." He went in, nature took over, things happened between them. He doesn't want to die in her house. Time is running out, so he told her, "I need to go." And he came to the door. The woman came to see him off, and she said, "Mr. Pillai, do you know what a good deed you have done for me today?" "One more good deed." What to do? So good people will neither make it here nor there. It's not your goodness which liberates you. Your goodness is only in comparison with somebody else. Your goodness being in comparison with somebody else, it's not about goodness, it's a kind of sickness. It's just like, right now, people are going about like this. They are happy. They don't know what joy is. Their happiness is just that they have things that other people don't have. Isn't it? Now let's say, you are all very hungry, but my stomach is full, and I feel so happy that nobody has food, but at least I have something to eat. Is this happiness or sickness? Humanity is suffering from the sickness which is passing off as happiness for most people. Isn't it so?
Sometime back, I happened to be in a situation where a friend of mine was drunk. So, when she was in the drunk state, she was repeatedly saying that, "Please don't judge me as I'm drinking. Please don't judge me."
It is… but she has lost her judgment, but she doesn't want you.
So my question is, whether it is alcohol or not, in life, why are we so apprehensive about being judged by others? And how can we not let this come on our way of being happy?
Look at me. Say, I'm always stoned. Never touched a substance, but always stoned. You can judge me whichever way you want. Because one thing is, I'm stoned in such a way that I have not lost my judgment at all. And at the same time, whichever way you judge me has absolutely no impact on me because I'm completely stoned. Having said that, why this consumption of alcohol and drugs is growing the way it's growing in the world is, this is because the heavens have been collapsing. Yes, I was in Bangalore just 3-4 weeks ago. There were over 8,000 people doing a 2-day program with me. And just casually I asked, "How many of you think you will go to heaven?" Only 5 hands went up. Then I asked, "Are you all the hell people?" No, it's just that both heaven and hell have collapsed in people's minds. This is the first time in the history of humanity that this many people in the world can think for themselves. Otherwise, your priest, your mullah, your pandit or a book was thinking for you. The first time that so many people can think for themselves. Are they thinking right, thinking wrong? There are many issues about that. But they're thinking right, thinking wrong, but they're thinking. So all illogical things are naturally collapsing. Still, this generation has not fully walked away from it, still there is fear. They can't openly say, there's no goddamn hell or heaven. They're still fearful about it, but they're trying to make a little heaven for themselves here. So, hey, wait. So naturally, when they're not able to do it for themselves out of their own intelligence, they will fall back on chemicals. Today, just to take very affluent societies, because every society is aspiring to be like that, let's say you take United States, which is the most affluent nation on the planet right now. 70% of US population is on prescription medication. Another 30%, of course, buying it off the back streets. Most affluent nation, obviously affluence is not working. To be healthful, you need chemicals. To be joyful, you need chemicals. To be peaceful, you need chemicals. To be ecstatic, of course, that is ecstasy. So, I'm not even looking at it morally. It's never a moral issue for me. If 90% of this population right now is on chemicals, believe me, the next generation that we produce will be a generation which is much less than us. If we produce a next generation less than ourselves, we have committed a crime against humanity, because the next generation must be at least one step ahead of us, otherwise we've lost it. We've lost the entire process of civilization when we produce a next generation which is actually less than us. So, we are heading towards this rapidly unless we teach individual human beings how to simply sit here and be blissed out. Stoned enough or no? Just look at me. But am I conscious enough, alert enough, clear enough? If there was a way to intoxicate yourself without losing your judgment, without losing your awareness, without losing your intelligence, it's a great thing. Intoxication is a fantastic thing. Only problem is, it takes away your judgment, it takes away your intelligence, incapacitates you. That is the problem, isn't it? Is it true? Ask anybody, you're not in the medical sciences, but ask anybody, is it true that this body here is the greatest chemical factory in the universe right now? The universe that we know at least? Only problem is you're a lousy manager. If you know how to manage this, you would be like me, always blissed out. Anybody can say what they want, anybody can do what they want. This is like this only. Because I have not given this privilege to anybody, that somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy, somebody can make me miserable. Right now, you are a consequence of other people's opinions. Where do you plan to go like this? Anybody can ruin you. You went outside, somebody told you, Shreya, you are the most wonderful human being we have seen. Then you were floating on that cloud, what number? What number? 9. Oh, in South we do 11. You were floating on cloud whatever number, and you came home, people at home told you who you really are. And the cloud will crash. No. It's very important that neither this way or that way, we listen to everybody, because we could be doing something wrong. Hello? Any moment we could be doing something wrong, so we listen to everybody. But what they say will not determine how I am. Never, ever. This you must fix, and you must tell your friend when she's not drunk. Because otherwise she won't understand.
The critics or whatever, somebody is criticizing me or somebody is saying something, I'll become more determined to score runs also. But I'll get very disturbed very quickly also. So, what I should do at that time? Should I reply to them?
What is the most important part of your life is what's happening within you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whether misery happens within you or joy happens within you, it only comes from within you, isn't it? So if joy is coming from within you, why can't you have it coming all the time? If it was coming in the Delhi tap, I know it goes dry. But if it's coming from within you, why can't you keep it flowing?
Yeah.
Because we have not taken care of this, isn't it? How you are should never be determined by how somebody else is.
Yeah.
Once you allow that, you will remain a slave to somebody all your life, because they will decide whether you will be happy or unhappy.
Yes.
The question is not about justice and injustice, that's a different thing. But still, whether there is justice or injustice, the most unjust thing that you can do for yourself and everybody around you, especially other people who have such a big expectation of you, is that you make yourself unhappy. Because unhappy means unpleasantness. Unpleasantness means inefficiency of life. Inefficiency of life means you will get out.
Yeah.
In your profession,
True.
inefficiency of life means you will get out in somebody else's profession, he will shoot a bad picture of me, somebody else will do something else. But in your life, inefficiency means you're back in the pavilion. So, in your life it's much more stark compared to other people's lives, because other people can explain.
Yeah.
Other people can explain their inefficiency. You cannot explain your inefficiency, we see it and that's all.
Yeah. And there are so many expectations from people, from family, from friends, that every time I walk in the field I have to score runs, and they want to see me on the field to score, hundreds. So it's difficult to perform at every time, but the expectation is there when I got out. So my son says, Papa, why are you getting out every time? Why not you scoring 100 every time? So, I can understand he's conscious, he's a child, he doesn't know anything, but still, he's expecting from his father that whenever he goes to the field, he can score runs, at least 50 or 100. So that expectation is so much…
You have more hundreds than fifties.
Yes.
You're one of the few who has more hundreds than fifties.
Yes. When I got 21 centuries, I got 20 50s and 21 centuries.
Yeah.
And then later on I score more 50s than the hundreds.
See, once you enter the field, once you go there and stand, you should not be anybody's husband, anybody's father, anybody's son, not even an Indian. You must just be a batsman. You got a bat and the ball coming, your business is just to hit the ball as it deserves. If you stand there as an Indian, 1 billion people will stand on your head. It's too much heavy weight to carry. If you stand there as a father, your children will sit on your shoulders. Very difficult to play the game with 2 children sitting on your shoulders. You must leave all of them outside. When you go there, you're just a batsman, and that's all your job is. You must exclude all these things.
But it's very difficult for me to,
For that
leave that thought behind.
For that also there are methods. See, right now, I'm constantly involved with people day in and day out, 20 hours a day, I'm on and on and on with people 7 days of the week. But if I close my eyes, the world stops for me, finished it is. The world doesn't even exist for me if I close my eyes. You must bring at least a little bit of this essence into your life, that there is… See, you were born alone?
No.
Or were you born with 1 billion people?
Born alone.
Alone.
Yeah.
When you die, you'll die alone. Right now, within this body, you live alone. You may do many other things. All these other things come in between and go in between, okay? One way or the other. This being, this piece of life is a complete piece of life as Creator has made. This doesn't become complete by making additions to it. It's incomplete human beings who invented those things. This is a complete piece of life. So, bringing this into your life, there are methods to do this. That every day if you simply close your eyes and sit for a few minutes, you must be able to shut off everything. If this happens in your daily life, when you go and stand there, it's just a business between you and the ball, that's all. And that's all it should be. This business does not involve your family, does not involve India, does not involve anything. It just involves the laws of physics, the ball, the bat and you, that's all.
Really appreciate. I want to ask a question that when I'm playing, there is a couple of negative thoughts comes in my mind that, when the bowler is running and he's ready to deliver the ball, suddenly the thought comes, hit the ball. And that, if that thought comes, it's difficult to control that thought at that time, because I'm about to play that ball. So how I'll control that thought? What should I tell, or what should I do to control that thought?
Hit the ball is not a bad thought.
Yeah, it's not bad thought, but still, I can't hit every ball.
No, that is true, but looking at your track record, you hit the ball pretty well. So that thought is a good thought, not a bad thought.
Yeah.
But it should not become a compulsive thought. And above all, so this is something that all of us have to understand, whether you're playing cricket or you're running a business or whatever you may be doing. There is something called as reality.
Yes.
There is something called as impressions of reality that we carry within ourselves.
Yes.
Suppose you never played cricket in your life, for the first time, you stand there.
Yes.
If a ball comes at you, you would naturally like to look at it, how it comes and then hit it. Only because you played cricket for a certain number of years,
Yes.
now you have this thought, because there is a score to fulfill and there are expectations, this time India has to win and so many things, expectations of 1 billion people,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But actually, you don't play a game. I would call everything a game in life.
Yes.
Whether you're on a playing field or you're in any other field, it is a kind of a game. You don't play any game well, you don't win a game because you want to win.
Yeah.
You don't hit a ball because you want to hit.
Yeah.
It is only because you do something right, it all works. So if you want to do something right, if you want to do anything right, first thing is we're able to grasp the situation for what it is. You're expecting the ball at 160 kilometers per hour. Suppose he lets it out at 60 kilometers per hour. It's the easiest things to hit probably, but you may miss it simply because you're expecting it to happen in a certain way. This expectation is coming because your memory is projecting into reality and making an unreal reality. So if there is an intelligent bowler, he reads this and he will make those things, and it is not always the fastest bowler or the one who spins most who gets the wickets, it's one who reads the batsman's expectations and just does the reverse of that, who manages to fox the batsman. So it doesn't matter which aspect of life, whether sport or otherwise, the important thing is we are able to grasp what is there and do the appropriate action.
Yeah.
In a sport, it becomes very, kind of focused, because so many people watching, and we know if you don't hit the ball right, all of us know it. Somebody is driving, if he, instead of missing the pothole, if he hits the pothole, maybe not everybody notices. Somebody is doing business, instead of doing the right thing, if he goes little off, maybe not too many people notice it. But in sport, if you don't hit the ball, if you don't take the ball in the center of the bat, all of us notice it.
Yes.
Not just you,
Yes.
not just the bowler. Every one of us know that you didn't hit it right. So because of that, all this is building up. I was just talking to somebody and they are just then… somebody was telling me, we got to beat Pakistan this time. I said, don't try to beat Pakistan, just hit the ball.
Yes.
If you want to beat Pakistan, they'll wage a war, okay? You don't try to beat Pakistan, all you have to do is hit the ball. If you try to beat Pakistan, Pakistan is not in the ball, it'll be somewhere there.
Yes.
In trying to beat that, all that'll happen is you'll go and sit in the pavilion. That's all that'll happen.
Yes.
In human mind, there is perception, there is memory, there is imagination. People are not able to keep these things separate. There is memory of the game, there is imagination of how you will carry the cup, and there is a reality of a ball coming at you. It is only the reality that you can handle. Memory and imagination, you can only fancy with. One is about that which is over, one is about that which is yet to happen. The reality is the ball is coming and you have a bat in your hand, you have to hit it the way the ball deserves it, not the way India deserves it. not the way Pakistan deserves
Yes.
it, not the way somebody else deserves it. You have to hit the ball the way the ball deserves it, the way it's coming. So to keep this clarity of mind, there are methods with which you can hold your mind in such a way that this moment if I sit here, the memory of who I am, my parentage, my upbringing, my growing up, my things, or things that I know, if all these things come right now in my mind, I will not perceive what is here. Memory will play.
Yes,
Memory is not a reality
yes,
because it is about something that is over, which does not exist. That which does not exist, if it impedes into that which exists, you will miss that which exists. This is so in everybody's life, but in a sports person's life, the effect of that is immediate. In other people's lives, it'll pay out and they will see it after some time that it doesn't work.
Yes.
But with your life, it's right there. You're either at the crease or you're sitting up there and clapping for somebody.
yes.
It's very clear. So because of that, it stands out, but this is true for everybody's life. So see, when you're given such a sophisticated mechanism called mind, human mind is not a simple thing, it's a magnificent mechanism. Even if you buy a phone, a simple phone, which they're calling it smart, it's not as smart as you, okay?
Yes.
But even if you buy a phone, you have to read a manual which runs into 20 pages of how to use it.
Yes,
They're not telling you how it works, they're only telling you how to use it will take a certain amount of study. If you want to know how it works, it will take much more
yes.
amount of study. Did you ever read the user manual for your brain?
No.
That's the whole thing. We are not looking at how this works, simply we are trying to use it. By nature or by accident, people may get to use it, but not consciously.
But there is a method or
There is a method.
a technique to
This is a
use
very
it?
established method.
Okay. My next question is that only how I'll control that thought?
Don't try to control it, you need to liberate yourself from this.
Okay.
See, I am not talking about controlling your mind.
Yeah,
I am talking about liberating it
yeah,
from all kinds of additions that it has added on.
yeah.
If you control your body, if you control your mind, what it means is, control means to hold it within certain limits. But you become who you are in the world only because you cross the limits. Only because you cross the limits that other people never cross, you become whoever you are in the world. So the method should be not of control, but of liberation. Over a period of time, you gather a body and a certain level of mind. These two, if we know how to use it to our advantage, it'll work one way. But a whole lot of humanity uses their body and their mind to their disadvantage. Their body and mind are the biggest problems that they have in their life. To make this body and mind in such a way that you don't have to control them. What would you like to control? You would like to control something that's gone berserk. You would like to control something which is destructive. Why would you like to control something that is creative, something that is competent, something that is capable? Why would you like to control that? Would you like to control your intelligence? Because if there is a certain level of ignorance, you want to control it. Would you like to control your intelligence? Would you like to control your physical strength? Would you like to control anything? You would want to liberate it, you would want to focus it, you would want to put it into proper use. If this has to happen, the most fundamental thing, there are various other methods. If you have the necessary time, more sophisticated methods can be approached. Necessary time does not mean you have to spend 12 hours a day or something. If you spend 20 to 30 minutes a day, you can do miraculous things for yourself. Because you know how to play the game, you know how to do all that. All that it takes is little more clarity at that moment, and the body and mind responds with much more ease. Rather than tension and fear and anxiety, it responds with ease. There is substantial scientific and medical information today to clearly say, only when you are at ease, your body and mind functions at its best. We've given it to the cricket team also, I don't know if it reached you. This is called as Isha Kriya. It's a simple process. The important thing is to make a distinction between what is you and what is not you. When I say what is you and what is not you, whatever you associate yourself with after some time you start experiencing it as myself, because somewhere in your mind you identify with it. Starting from the most fundamental thing, it goes into various things which causes enormous amount of disturbance and misery. But the most basic thing which breeds this is your own body and your mind. When we say your mind is largely the thought process and emotions that go on there. This thought process and emotion mainly happens the way it happens because of the type of memory that you have gathered there. Obviously, you gathered memory over a period of time, isn't it? The body, the physical body, from the time when you were born and how you are today, you gathered this over a period of time. Anything that you can gather can be yours, but can never ever be you, isn't it? So to create a distinction between what is you and what is not you, if this distinction arises, which is what Isha Kriya does, if you bring this distinction into your life, you will see suddenly your ability to use your body and your mind is phenomenally enhanced, many fold. The same body and same mind, simply because you're not tangled up with it, you can use it so much better, simply because there is a little bit of space between you and your body and you and your mind. This is guaranteed from me.
We've got it all figured out. Oh, that smug little smile, no doubt. Throwing out your words like
We hope this video has been a source of inspiration for you. Be sure to check out our other content and share your wisdom with the world.
But it's all just fake humility. You're right, oh great, well done. But we all know you're just having fun. Thumbs up emojis, aren't you so kind? Hiding what you really mean behind a perfect mask of passive praise. But everyone sees the truth you've sold. Could be yes, you say with glee, but it's all just fake humility. You're right, oh great, well done. But we all know you're just having fun. Thumbs up emojis, aren't you so kind? Hiding what you really mean behind a perfect mask of passive praise. But if it's all just a little sad display, could be yes, you say with glee, but it's all just fake humility. You're right, oh great, well done. But we all know you're just having fun. So keep pretending like we can't see your clever words dripping with irony. You think you're sly, but here's the truth. Your passive acts just lack some youth. So here's to you.